Hello and welcome to Theatre Reviews with Paul Seven. I'm here at the Salisbury Playhouse to see Rock and Roll Man. When I arrived at Salisbury Playhouse to review the launch of the UK tour of Rock and Roll Man, I was given this, which was cute. Of course, although I like rock and roll, I'm not the rock and roll man. That's Alan Freed. Alan who? Well, this American disc jockey who died in 1965 is hardly a household name on this side of the Atlantic anyway. I'm pretty sure Rock and Roll Man, a musical chronicling his life, could only have originated in the USA. And bringing it over here may be regarded as a bit of a gamble. Yet, Freed's life proves richly dramatic. He not only popularised the term rock and roll, but championed black music to white audiences and spearheaded integration at concerts at a time when segregation and racism was entrenched in American society. He was also quite naughty. Keep watching for more about this superior jukebox musical. But first, please like, comment and subscribe to this channel where I've been reviewing theatre for the last 8 years. And do visit Theatre.Reviews for written versions of my reviews and my roundups of other critics' reviews. So, Alan Freed is a compelling figure at a pivotal point in musical history. Nevertheless, it's the music that takes centre stage. Even for someone of my vintage, the songs featured in Rock and Roll Man were already history by the time I reached my teens. Having said that, many of them, like Roll Over Beethoven, Tutti Frutti and Yakety Yak, have long since attained classic status. Even if you've never heard these songs before, you'll find your hands clapping and your feet tapping of their own accord. In fact, the show really could do with more songs played consecutively to raise the temperature even higher. Now, in my experience, the jukebox musical, where the show is built around pre-existing hit songs, is a difficult genre to conquer. Unlike traditional musical theatre, where the songs organically advance the plot and illuminate character, in jukebox musicals, the narrative can feel subordinate, perfunctory even, when compared with the power of the music. It helps, therefore, that this show incorporates several original numbers by Gary Kupper, written specifically for Freed to sing. They're not great songs, but they do the job of making it feel much more like an integrated piece of musical theatre. Constantine Maroulis as Freed is a superb vocalist and persuasive actor, and he's endowed with an audience-charming charisma. In the musical, we see how Freed fell in love with black artists' rhythm and blues records and started playing them on a local radio station instead of the bland music by white crooners, to initial opposition. Then he organised concerts with integrated audiences to a violent reaction from the authorities. We see him reach the heights of national popularity until his TV show is cancelled because a black man danced with a white woman. And then he's brought down by accusations of taking bribes and by alcoholism. Keep watching and I'll tell you more about the talented cast and what does and doesn't work in Rock and Roll Man. The performers in Rock and Roll Man are, by and large, accomplished actors as well as singers. The principal singers boast voices that are at once potent and mellifluous. Joey James is Chuck Berry personified, down to his signature duck walk. Marquie Hairston is Screaming Jay Hawkins. Anton Stephens is Bo Diddley. And Cherece Richards brings commanding presence to Laverne Baker, one of the few prominent female singers from this period. Jairus McClanahan is a gloriously camp little Richard who lights up the stage with his presence. Their combined harmonies as the Platters, the Coasters and other vocal groups are gorgeous. Gary Turner is likeable as both Leo, Freed's early business partner and friend, and later Morris, his more edgy mate from the mob. Shelby Speed demonstrates impressive versatility as his mother, wife, daughter, and more. Mark Pearce is, among others, an authoritative J. Edgar Hoover. Under the assured direction of Randal Myler, with dynamic choreography from Stephanie Klemons, the production is slick, stylish, and energetically staged. There's a clever framing device that helps give shape to the show. Gary Kupper, Larry Marshak and Rose Caiola, who wrote the book, cast much of the narrative as a dream, in which Freed imagines himself on trial for promoting rock and roll. The conceit has some historical resonance, since the prosecutor is J. Edgar Hoover, head of the FBI, whose organisation pursued Freed for encouraging this degenerate music. What was degenerate about it? Well, it was sexual, of course, and perhaps more importantly, it was seen to be encouraging integration between black and white people, which was a radical proposition in the 1950s and 60s in America. And that makes Freed an unlikely yet significant protagonist in the struggle for social change. Regrettably, this useful framework all but disappears in the second half. Maybe it was because he had a target on his back that Freed's life was beset by scandals. It may be that the practice of payola, taking bribes to play music, and tax evasion was rife in the notoriously corrupt music industry of the time, but it was he whose career was destroyed, and that causes the musical to peter out. It loses its shape and impetus as it heads to a distinctly downbeat finish. Spoiler alert, Freed dies. But the music plays on. Now, Alan Freed may have faded from our collective memory, but the music he shared with the world still raises the roof. I hope you found this review useful, and if you did, please like, comment and subscribe to this channel, then you'll be the first to know about my future reviews. And if you want to read my reviews, go to Theatre.Reviews, where you'll also find my roundups of other critics' reviews of London shows. And you can follow me on the usual social media, Instagram, Mastodon, Threads and Blue Sky. Thank you for watching.